This presentation is about the VLE Strategic Review, and it is also an introduction to the MOODLE learning environment. We'll be talking very briefly about why the VLE Strategic Review was undertaken and what MOODLE is. The VLE Strategic Review is undertaken after the upgrade of the existing Go learning environment. Go is based on a technology called Blackboard. The first task for the Web Services team was to upgrade the existing environment from version 7.3 to version 9.1 and make it as usable and intuitive as possible. When we'd finished this in September of 2010, we decided to answer key questions about how students and teachers used, perceived, and felt about the virtual learning environment. So we established a survey. We had roughly 500 to 600 student respondents and about 200 staff respondents. Some of the key questions that were asked were, is the current VLE good value for the college? Does it allow the college to meet strategic e-learning goals? And is it easy to use? Does it enhance teaching and learning? We know that there are exceptional examples of teaching and learning going on in the college, people using new technologies to do extremely interesting things. One of those is demonstrated here.
Deep down, I know you feel the same. Deep down, the center of my heart, it's trembling. My head aches as I change what I'm wearing for the second time. Sweat trickles down my face as I reapply my makeup. All I do is sing for my sanity. It's the only thing that keeps my heart from sinking. It's nerve-wracking enough just to know that you're turning up. It's nerve-wracking enough just to think that we might break up in time. 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 We might. Right now, I crack a few jokes to break the silence. Right now, I have my hands under the table picking at my nails.
What we have here is an example of someone using existing technology, in this case whiteboards, in a very interesting way that's not being done anywhere else at all. The question is can any of this be used in the virtual learning environment? And if it can't, why not? This is what the survey told us, that the current learning environment was a bit long-winded. It was slow to load, it froze, the gradebook had issues, it wasn't particularly fun to use. And you can see that in the feedback. They wanted it made less long-winded, and they actually named another system MOODLE. More shortcuts would be better. Problems such as students accessing items and the system crashes. There are issues of reliability here. So this all comes down to one simple idea in terms of what you've asked for.
The idea is to create simple to use teaching rooms like this one that are capable of working with the virtual learning environment. You simply book the room, show up, it records your teaching for the day, and then automatically passes it to the virtual learning environment. And as with the VLE, the key to these sorts of resources is simplicity.
Simplicity in the design of these sorts of rooms basically means that all you have to do is book the facility, show up, and it does what it needs to do. It then takes this recording, passes it to the virtual learning environment or iTunes U, and is automatically available to you. The idea is that the technical steps don't interfere in the actual process of teaching. It's simply another step that you go through without a great deal of conscious thought. This is why at the end of the feedback exercise and the survey, we've come to MOODLE. Now the first question is, what exactly is MOODLE? Well, it's an online learning environment that's been designed by educators primarily. It's not-for-profit and used worldwide. And major supporters that have put millions of pounds into its development include the Open University, which uses MOODLE for over 200,000 users and 5,000 courses. Now this isn't to say MOODLE is free in the strictest sense. What it means is that the software itself is free. You can take it, you can do anything you want with it, and you can modify it. So you never run into a situation where you say, we're not allowed to do that with the software. No, that's not possible. You can always do whatever you want. It's only a matter of investing the amount of effort. Now, as a large institution, we can avail of several MOODLE partners to provide support and development. The great thing is that if we're not satisfied with the level of support, we can always move to another MOODLE partner. We're not tied to any one particular vendor. So some quick facts about the MOODLE virtual learning environment. There are roughly 50,000 MOODLE sites in the world at the moment, running 3.7 million courses in 210 countries in 75 languages. So you say, that's all well and good, but what does this mean for me as a teacher in Guildford? Well, this is a list of all the further and higher education institutions using MOODLE in Surrey. This was a Google search. It took about 5 minutes, and it's not systematic, it's not complete, but it's a quick indication of all the institutions that have MOODLE running at the moment. This is a list of further and higher education institutions using MOODLE in England. And this is a list worldwide, highlighted in yellow. So what are we proposing with a move to MOODLE? Well, what we're looking at is joining a community of teachers and developers who share best practice and teaching materials and who collaborate in their efforts in improving online learning. All of these people are constantly developing, teaching, and finding innovative ways to use this learning environment. Some of them are programmers, some of them are teachers, and some of them are just very advanced users, but they all want to contribute and improve the product, and they have a tendency to contribute those products back into the community at large. These are some of the core benefits in this way. If you don't like the way it works, you can change it. In this case, you would ask web services, I don't like this language, it's not particularly intuitive, can we change that? And the answer is yes, we can do that. The support groups and training are very substantial. Local colleges all through the region are using it, all through the country, in different countries and around the world. There is a massive resource for people using it to do different things. If you can think of something you want to do, it's probably already been done. When I presented this session, before I actually began, someone came up and said they'd seen a great idea being done at another college. Could we give that a try with a plugin for MOODLE? And all I could say was, yes, why not? I don't see a problem with that. It's, as I mentioned before, it's software as a service. That's the idea. We can do anything we like with it. It's open, it's free, and it's maintained by a community of developers. It's very reliable, it's quite intuitive, and it has a tendency of breaking learning down into what they call social constructivist viewpoints. The idea being that there's a definitive beginning and an end to the process of learning. You go through steps 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it presents the material in that order. It also has the ability to share or share material with other further and higher education colleges. So other colleges may share their courses, and you can allow your students to enroll in those courses and participate remotely. And it's not very technical, it's quite easy to set up. So that's something that MOODLE does by default. It also is the only virtual learning environment that's made to work with mobile devices. So people can access videos, materials, schedules, anything of the sort on their iPhone, iPod, or Android device. So the goal overall is to link the interesting things that we've seen now with a learning environment that's easy to use, convenient, and highly reliable. In doing this, we want to link with certain systems we have at the moment, like Eclipse. We want information on courses, student enrollments, scheduling, timetables, all to be automatically available in the virtual learning environment. And if a student goes in and changes his enrollment in course A to course B, we want that change to be instantly reflected in the virtual learning environment. If you want to combine 2 or 3 courses into a single course, we want to be able to do that instantly. At the moment, that's a very technical, very manual process, and mistakes can happen when you have people in between the process. So we want to automate it as much as possible to make it efficient and quick. So our development schedule. The project will begin in March, subject to approval. The pilot and feedback begins in May. The technical development isn't particularly complicated in this case. My own experience has been with two large UK universities so far, the Robert Gordon University and the University of Kent. They rolled out Moodle for 4,000 concurrent users in an institution with roughly 20,000 users on 4-year programs. So they could support about 80,000 users in the system at any given time, all using all of the available tools, and it works quite quickly. So in terms of technical rollout and layout and design, we're not too concerned because we have a working idea of how this has been done in the past, all the things that can go wrong, and how best to adapt. The thing that really counts is taking those lessons and using them to adjust to the teaching culture and the learning culture at Guildford College. So starting in May, we'll start with a Moodle board with representatives from student, staff, and other groups, and we'll also be constantly seeking feedback from teaching staff on what they like about it, what they'd like to change, and what they want to do. This will be going on in terms of feedback and training straight through till October after the launch. A dedicated training program will be made available so that anyone who wants to do either online training, in-person training, or any other type they can suggest, they'll have that option available to them. In terms of training, there will be general training options, as I've just mentioned. We're also going to try using online videos, which have been popular. For those who are very keen, there is a Moodle Course Creator Certificate available. If you'd like to do a professional qualification in the coming years, hopefully we'll be able to arrange this through CPD, that you can sit an exam, pay the fee, and then become a certified Moodle Course Creator, and you'll be issued a certificate. So what's the schedule for this? The official launch of the new learning environment, subject to approval, is in September 2011. It'll also include iTunes University, which will be launching before that, but it'll be fully integrated. We'll also have our own internal YouTube, a streaming environment. This comes along with the lecture recording classroom, and a lot of the materials from this lecture recording classroom, which we've piloted, will find its way into the new Learning Hub. All of these will be coming together. Moodle really is an environment that can take iTunes U, the lecture recording classroom, and combine these together in an easy-to-use way where you can say, I have a video from this resource, I want to put it in, or I have something from iTunes U, I want to link it up. At the moment, our current learning environment isn't capable of doing that, but Moodle is. So the idea is that the virtual learning environment will be a one-stop shop where you can take materials from any source, take any videos that you have and simply say, here is my video. You don't really need to know what the video type is, if you need a plugin, or any of these technical terms. You simply need to say, I have a video, I'd like to play it. And Moodle simply says, yes, I can do that. And it automatically plays it. The idea overall is that we want using a virtual learning environment to be much like checking your mail in the morning, online banking, things you don't necessarily think about too much, but they're just part of your day. And that's it for the presentation. Thanks very much, and if you'd like to read more about this, the strategic review of the VLE is available as a document on the web services site. Thanks very much.